just before we get into the video, I'd like to give a shout out to Fahadi500 for the awesome new intro. A link to his channel will be in the description below. And I hope you guys enjoyed the following video. Hey, what's going on guys? It is Relentlessly Steve, and welcome to another video. And this is my first video of the new year, so I hope you guys had a great time over Christmas. And I am back with another video for you guys in 2015. Now, today I'm going to be giving a countdown of my top 5 things that I would like to see for this supposed Assassin's Creed remake of the original game. Now, this is completely off the top of my head, and some of the things I'm going to be saying has been on my mind for quite a long time now, since I first heard about this here rumour, but I don't believe it at all. But I think it would be a pretty good fun topic for a video, just to give my thoughts on it and give a top 5 countdown and what I'd like to see in an Assassin's Creed remake. So, without further ado, let's get started.
Number 5.
At number 5, I would like to see some little improvements to the graphics. Now, I know it's going to be on the next generation console, but I'd just like to see, you know, some tweaks made to the graphics in terms of the, you know, the lighting effects, the character model of Altair. Give him a little change on the face, like change it to Cass Anfar's, you know, version of Altair from Revelations. Like, change the face so he doesn't look exactly like Desmond from AC1, and change it into his own look from AC Revelations. And, you know, there's plenty of other things in the graphics department that I like to talk about. The lighting effects, the character models, you know, the draw distance. Well, the draw distance is actually pretty sweet and epic in Assassin's Creed 1, but, you know, they could change it just a little bit. I don't want them to completely overhaul it and just ruin the remake, because if you tweak it too much, you could end up, you know, destroying it. But that's just my opinion, guys. So let's move on to number 4.
Number 4.
At number 4, I'd like to see the combat to have an overhaul. Now, I don't really want it to, you know, feel a lot like Assassin's Creed Unity's combat, because that'd be near enough impossible for this remake, from my point of view. Just tweak it a little bit so it has like some of the features that Assassin's Creed 2 had, such as the way you can kill guards with your hidden blades, and you actually use them as one of the primary weapons, unlike Assassin's Creed 1, where you just fight with a hidden blade like so, just by, you know, countering once with it, and, you know, making the combat pretty much a lot easy. They could make it more like Assassin's Creed 2 or Brotherhood than Unity, because I prefer the combat from the old Assassin's Creeds. Not because I want an easy game, no, not at all. Like, it's because I'd rather have, you know, more of the classic feeling of Assassin's Creed, how it used to feel back in the days of, you know, 2007 when the first game launched. Those were the days. Those were the best days of Assassin's Creed, in my opinion. I love those times. It was just great. You know, it was original for its time, but now looking at it, you know, it's good that they changed it. But for the remake, I'd like to see the game, you know, changed just a little bit, so it can suit, it can like be a lot like more next generation than it is like when we're looking at it right now. This is last generation, you know, Assassin's Creed gameplay. But they could still do a pretty good job if they changed it to more Assassin's Creed 2 feeling it in terms of the gameplay. So that's pretty much it at number 4, and let's move on to number 3.
Number 3.
At number 3, we have the mission structure. Now, this got pretty much a lot of complaints from critics in 2007 when the first game launched, due to there only being 4 mission types. Now, the 4 of them were talking to informers and completing tasks for them, such as collecting flags or killing certain targets around the map. The next 3 were eavesdropping, resetting a bench, and listening to your target. The next one would be interrogation, where you beat the information of your target, and the other one would be pickpocketing someone, such as a delivery man, to get some layers for information about the target. Now, this got pretty much a lot of attention and a lot of hate when the first game launched, but due to being such an awesome story, the mission structure didn't really, you know, bother too many people. For me, I enjoyed it. It was pretty sweet. I wouldn't mind seeing, you know, another type of game like this, but I really know it'll never happen. But I'd like to see kind of not a complete change in the mission structure for the AC1 remake. I'd like to see the additions from the PC version of Assassin's Creed 1. Now, there was a couple of changes made to the PC version that's completely different from the console version. The main thing being there's more, you know, side missions to do. There's a couple of races you can do. There's races for informers. There's escort missions as well, where you escort informers out of a city. I'm not entirely sure if there's any more after that, but you know, it could well do for the remake. Make it you know, quite like, you know, really different from what it used to be. Well, not completely different, but I know my opinion, guys. Just change it up a bit. Don't change everything completely, but if they could, you know, it'd be pretty friggin' epic, in my opinion. So that's at number 3. Now we're going to move on to number 2 of this list.
Number 2.
At number 2, this is going to be really like something that I believe won't happen at all, but this is something I would like to see, and that is the voice actor for Altair himself. Now, in Assassin's Creed 1, he was voiced by Philip Shabazz, I believe. He voiced Altair in an American accent when we thought he was a Syrian assassin, which he was, but he had an American accent, and he stood out from everyone else, all the characters in Assassin's Creed 1, just due to him being the only Syrian guy with an American accent. Now, I would like to have that changed. Have Cas Ambar come back to voice Altair for the remake in Revelations. Just have the exact same script that was used in Assassin's Creed 1, and just have Cas Ambar have his own take on it, with that you know, Syrian flavour to his voice and what he can bring to the character of Altair, and maybe we could even, you know, love him more with that there Syrian accent like we did in Revelations. Now, that'd be something really cool, and I really hope Ubisoft considered hiring Cas Ambar back into the Assassin's Creed brand for this remake, because if they did, that'd be absolutely amazing. I would love Ubisoft to have done that, but that is something that's kind of fictional at this point, guys, so I really hope it happens. And that is number 2, and let's move on to number 1.
Number 1.
Okay, at number 1, this is the story. Now, I really would appreciate it if Ubisoft would remove the Desmond story arc from Assassin's Creed 1 and completely focus the remake on Altair's story, just to make the game completely Altair based. Now, I really would love it if Ubisoft done this, you know, because for a lot of fans who are going to be who will join the Assassin's Creed series from this remake, a lot of people will seem lost from the remake because due to the Desmond story arc, and they didn't see this coming at all. I don't think it'd be a good idea to include this in the remake. For us veteran players, I don't think we really want to see the Desmond story arc again. That was great for its time and for the earlier Assassin's Creeds when it all started. But now we really would like to see a remake just entirely based on Altair's story. And that would be greatly appreciated by me and hopefully many other fans of the series, especially the Altair fans, which I am proudly part of, because Altair is my favourite assassin ever. If they really actually done that, I'd be actually really happy if Ubisoft would consider doing this, and you know, making a game completely based on Altair. It also includes the parts of his story from Assassin's Creed Altair's Chronicles. Maybe just in the cutscene, because that was on the DS, so that'd be kind of impossible to add that into the remake. They could add the story when he went to Cyprus, which is from Assassin's Creed Bloodlines. I'd really like that if they'd done that. And also his memories from Assassin's Creed Revelations. Basically the whole story from the Secret Crusade put into the Assassin's Creed 1 remake, completely focused on Altair. Now that sounds a bit far-fetched, guys, but you know, it was fun. This is fun to do, I like to give my thoughts on what I'd love to see in the Assassin's Creed remake if it ever does happen. But I do have a feeling it will happen in 2017, which is 2 years away from now. That will celebrate and mark the 10-year anniversary of the Assassin's Creed series. And if that did happen, I'd be completely happy with everything. I wouldn't care if the next Assassin's Creed was coming out. You know, to be honest, I would actually prefer the Assassin's Creed remake to come out instead of a new Assassin's Creed game, just to give them more time to work on, you know, the main Assassin's Creed and not one of these old remakes. Because if they did, that would be completely amazing. I thank Ubisoft for doing it because, you know, they need more time to work on these Assassin's Creed games, in my opinion. But anyways, that is my top 5 countdown of what I'd like to see in the Assassin's Creed 1 remake, if it ever does happen. So guys, I'd like to hear your opinion. Voice your opinion in the comments below, and let's discuss on what we'd like to see in an Assassin's Creed 1 remake. If you want the Assassin's Creed remake to happen. For me, yes, I really want it to happen. So pretty much that's all I have to say for today, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and my first video of 2015. And I am Relentless HD, and I'll see you soon. Take care, bye bye for now, and remember, nothing is true and everything is permitted. We work in the dark to serve the light when we are assassins. Safety and peace, my friends, and I'll see you all next time.